Hi, my name is Luis Perez. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm a systems engineer as a profession. I am a new agriculture and I want to share my story to see if we can reach the right people and we could get some action going on here. I have been working in technology for more than 20 years and I've always been concerned about cancer and the state of the planet, how we're contaminating, polluting, and destroying it, etc. But mainly, I think that we can all appeal that we've had one or two family members that have died of cancer and kind of try and investigate what's going on. Part of it is due to our food, right? Our food is being tampered with by scientists who are trying to find solutions to quickly resolve the matters of getting more food out there, helping farmers out, whatever they can. The problem is the lack of understanding of soil, how foods get their nutrients, etc. This video does not intend to be a scientific research video. I want to get a shout out there to government and agencies and organizations that can help us out. So by providing the situation of what we're living and what's been going on. Giving the example, trying to work with this problem, what I did is I purchased land and I joined the farmers to better understand. So I keep doing my engineering job, but on the side, weekends and nights, I come to my farm and I work and I'm trying to also stimulate the economy here locally by bringing in knowledge and all this that I have acquired in the city to see how I can bring jobs and economic creation. So for government workers, what you have to understand, and politicians, is that we are trying to create economy. This is not a handout video, right? We discussing bad government and chastising you and all that. We're trying to develop a strong economy. We're trying to get jobs out there, and we're trying to get you good food without cancer to your plate. Those are the goals, and I think that we can find a common ground there. So when I purchased this land, I purchased it from a farmer that called it quits after Maria. Big storm, it damaged all his crop. He had, I think it was around 20 something acres working here on the farm. I'm going to show you right now the conditions that it's at. This is an orange tree that we saved and some banana plantains, right? And all that is a couple of acres that is just covered in ground cover, right? And we need to go and salvage, and there's cacao trees here. There's also sugar cane and other products from the land. So the story goes, a hurricane hit. It's so hard to upbring the farm that people just call it quits, right? And that's bad for us, because then solutions like you have aquaculture and all that, those stuff, and they bring it up. The problem is the secret is in the soil, right? You can cultivate plants in water and give them chemicals and it will work. They will sprout for you, but all the process of nutrients, microbiota, and how the soil works is not going to work for them. Now, what's the challenge with the big acres here and the farm, right? This, as you can see, for us to have safe conditions to work is complicated, because we have to work around this type of environment and then try to make a safe working environment for our workers. So just to share an example, this is a good part of the finca, right? I'm walking through a place where what we did is we put rocks in bad areas, and that's how we've been trying to get the jeeps going on and etc. And it kind of works. It's called Tosca here, and it kind of works. It's costly. I have to employ a digger. The digger comes with some trucks, and then they dispense and do, and it's a costly process, right? So you work for 2 years, you don't harvest, maybe you will harvest in the 4th year, so you're investing in all that time, and there's money to be made. It's not that there's no money to be made in agriculture, it's just you need a lot of upstart money to actually get it going. So the problem is, even in this very good piece of land, as you can see, there's actual rocks, so not that bad, right? But as you can see, the slope goes down, and then it gets complicated because water sources get in, and then we start getting into trouble with the 4x4s. So problems that we've been having in the finca, even though it's a good sunny day, it's been raining a lot because of the storms and such, and it complicates the conditions for us to operate safely, and that means a lot more investment in infrastructure and other things that we could better use that money. The problem with the storms is that when you have a crop and you've been working on it 2 years, it's not making any money yet, then the storm hits and it destroys it. So no food, you don't have a crop, and then you have to rebuild. So that money cycle turns into a 6-year plan or 8, and that's where a lot of farmers, they just go broke, right? And we need people to actually have food for us. But just to show you an example, I have a new vehicle. It's a Jeep. It has the wheels and everything. Yesterday I spent an hour just trying to do a roundabout to see the finca, and not even in a bad part of the finca. This is a good part of the finca. And as you can see, this is just a little slope. Right now, because of the sun, it has hardened. But yesterday just rained a bit, and it turned into clay. And my Jeep sleep. I have a safe passage here, so I had no accidents. But if there are parts in the finca which are not that safe, and I could have hit something, and my Jeep would have been totaled. So last week, one of my employees, we have a pickup, in the main road outside the finca, he was trying to miss a pothole. His pickup hit the side of the road where there's grass, and he totaled the pickup. And these are the conditions that we're working in the mountain, because there's a lot of potholes. Government is not fixing it because they're all over. That's just how. So we're not saying, hey, bad people for not fixing the roads and etc. So where does this video is taking you, especially government workers, FEMA, Department of Agriculture, right? I got some solutions to some problems. I'll explain some problems, and I got some solutions. So when you're trying to build the economy, again, not a handout ask, right? I don't care about handouts. It's just you doing your job right. And I'll explain what my definition of handout is. So Democrats always talk about this message of, illegal aliens and all that good stuff, and about not giving handouts, which is great. My definition of a handout is for somebody having a job, getting paid and not doing their job, right? So if you get paid as a politician to help us out, and you get paid as a government agency to do a job, in this case FEMA, right? It has to manage the disaster and the recovery, okay? In the case of the Department of Agriculture, it has to help the people do their job, get food. So what happens is they get paid like pirates, but they don't do their job. Politicians are using their platforms instead of unifying the government and the people and making it work better. They're using it as social media sprouts to be sending polarizing messages, right? Instead of actually uniting their people, making a greater economy and helping us do our job. Okay, so what I'm saying is, let's partner together and let's do our job together. How? Well, if it takes me 6 years to get a crop going because I got a hurricane in between and make some money, I'm gonna be broke. You need the food. Everybody needs food because in hurricanes specifically and other disasters, there's no boats coming on, etc., because everybody's getting swamped and you can run out of food, which is a big problem. What do? You have to work on the security of your food. So I'm partnering there with you. We're doing something together for the community. What is it needed? Okay, so instead of me rebuilding the farm in the investment I already did, how about you help me out, build better roads so I can pass with my equipment safely? And how about this is going to generate tax revenue for you, because I'm going to pay taxes out of the food and the sales that I'm doing here on the farm. What do I need from you? I need from you to actually do your job. What's your job? Okay, so Puerto Rico, we get $2 billion or more every time there's an incident. This money does not move from the bank accounts to the people. Why? Two basic reasons, and I'll explain them. And they're not hard to fix. They're super simple to fix. One of them is the difficulty of getting those forms filed, right? So I'm going to discuss what agriculture time is, and then you'll understand what the problem is. Okay, so here, to vet the person, you need to go to 6 different agencies or more to get those little papers that say you don't owe money. Okay, so just making an example how this hurts economy is, Puerto Rico has all these information systems. So we're systems based, it's okay. But it's 6 different information systems, 6 different agencies, and they all make mistakes. So for example, I filed a Treasury Department filing for my taxes. They haven't put it on the system yet. So on the report it says that I haven't filed, but I did, and I have the proof. So I send the proof to the Agriculture Department. They say, well, the Treasury Department report says you didn't. I have here the receipt. And he says, well, go over there. So when I go over there, they say, hey, we haven't filed it yet. It'll be done, 6 months or so. What? I'm waiting for my aid. So just giving you a small example. Let's talk about the time. So I live far away because I'm in a big, finca. So it takes me 45 minutes to get to town, 45 minutes back, hour and a half. Now, if I have to make that line, it's 1 hour. So it's 2 hours and a half. And I just got 1 paper. Maybe I need 6. So just figure it out. It's different places you got to go, etc. So it kills me half a week just to file, just to say that I don't owe the government any money. Half a week that I haven't been producing in my land. So, and you're supposed to be, this is for assistance, okay? Now, you keep adding to that insult over injury is that when you do file and you go over all the hoops that they put on you, you have to wait a year, 2, maybe. So I did the, specifically right now, there's a help that's called Regrow, right? It's supposed to be an investment that the government does for the farmers to actually accelerate, right? It's been almost a year and a half and nothing. I mean, paperwork after paperwork's expired, so you have to go back to that agency and get the little paper again because it's already expired. And you have to do that 4-hour trek again, How can you fix that? You can fix that very easily. All agencies have their information system. 1 quick fix, 1 soup, 2 weeks of labor. Oh my God. You put those flags, owes money or not, in a database and you centralize it. And that is just 1 web service away, RESTful. All local agencies know web services already, and they probably have in all agencies, especially Treasury Department and, Department of State, which are supposed to be, forefront of high tech because this is a high tech kind of state, right? So you can just create 1 database, integrate all these 6 web services. It's just a yes or no. Is the person cleared or not to, be out of any compliance issue? Generate that report and have the people in government actually get it. So you get the citizen out of the way. That's a quick solution. It will expedite all your claims because the person doesn't have to have the 6 files. It's just 1 consolidated report. It simplifies the due process for the agency. It eliminates half a week or more of hours of your constituents doing stuff that they shouldn't be, because basically the government should know if the person owes them money or not. It's not the constituent bringing in proof. The government should know because the agencies are yours. So this is a 2-week project. 6 fields on a database, yes or no, integration, and then every time the status change, you just do a quick update daily on a batch, and that's it. I used to be government contract for the government of Puerto Rico, also federal government. I really do understand the systems, COBOL, complexities, and all that. And I really do understand that this is very simple and it's not a big ask. It's a $200,000 kind of service order ask, and I don't know why the government of Puerto Rico cannot do it. Okay, so I ask of our governor and the main cabinet to please look into this. It's a quick fix. It will help not just agriculture, it will help all the constituents. It's a simple, centralized. Do you, yes or no, are in compliance with government, and do you owe any money to any agency? And the reporting will take the 6 agencies that are always required, have them there, and that's it. One report. You could do it online anytime. Grab it for the agency, take it, and then that's it. Okay? So that's one quick thing that you can do, and that you can vouch, and you help me out, people, to get this done, because it's so simple and it takes so much time. The other one is staff augmentation. Oh, so we have hurricanes. Surprise! Every 2 years, every year. In Caribbean, in Florida, in lower states. So it's not a surprise. It happens, especially with global warming, this storms will be more and more. So why don't you have seasonal staff augmentation? We already know this, August to November. So do as the IRS does. IRS, you guys rock. So what you do is you have a seasonal staff, and when they have tax filing season, they already have staff augmentation. 20-30% of the fold in the local offices are banked. They have call centers rank up, and then they provide the service in the due time that is needed. Do the same with disaster recovery agencies. FEMA, please have staff. Let me give you a particular example. NCRS, they're supposed to cover for example, the cost allocation for the roads that are here. So when I went to the agency and I asked them, I'm going to file my roads got slammed because of the hurricane and stuff, and they got destroyed. We paid $7,000 last year for them. It's a lot of money. We have to repay that again because of the storm. We have to, some of them got landslides and such. Okay, so there's an aid for that, which is great, because then this is not a handout. Let me explain the difference. We're trying to make money. And what we're trying to do is not invest $7,000 on a road that we already paid for, and then pay that $7,000 in actual product development so we can get more money out of the table for you, right? Government helps. It already is there, right? But they're not giving it. The money's in the bank. So we got these pirates that grab all our tax money, and then they don't pay it back. That's handout for you. You get paid for a job you're not doing. That's a handout. Now, I'm not asking for a handout. I'm asking that you do your job. There's a big difference. And then you give that money to the construction company that will help build the road so I can get the product out to you. We need roads. That's all. We need roads. And for the car to actually get to the point where the product is, get it out, and then get it to you. Okay? So these polarizing conversations about Puerto Ricans asking for handouts that are being taught left and right is not true. Okay, so what we're saying is we need to get the economy running, and we want you to do your job in these big agencies. Okay, so they park $2 billion and they're not giving it out. So the answer is staff augmentation. Right now, NCRS in Puerto Rico, Utuado chapter, only has 3 people working with all the regular services that the agency needs to comply with, which is a lot of work because they have hundreds of agricultures to attend, plus managing the emergency. So now they have to go audit all the 100 and something fincas to check out the damages, take pictures, do all those reports that you guys put them to do, etc. It's only 3 people. This is going to get done for 2 years. they're not providing any services that they're supposed to because they're not getting staff augmented. You have $2 billion parked or more in the bank. You can get 10, 15 people to come in, do all that work while that government agency actually does their job, which is what I need right now, because we have to partner up to actually do some environmental crisis management, etc., here in the finca. And I can't talk to that person because she's slammed because of the what's happening on the rainstorms and etc., and she's not being able to do her job, which is actually talk with me and we discuss economic development and all these initiatives that they have. So what we have is understaffed agencies, a lack of supervision to get that money out. I'm not discussing the power crisis in Puerto Rico. I'm just discussing getting the money out. That's been, for example, Hurricane Maria, just to give you factual information, is it went in 2017, and right now the important part is that we're in 2022, money's not out yet. It's 5 years. You've had some time. That's what I call handouts. So my friend Republicans, my friend Democrats, we can have a common ground in the following. Economic development is for all a priority. And economic security is important for a nation because taxpayer dollars is what guarantees that government actually works. Taxpayer dollars is what gives you your salary. So one of your constituents that is actually paying for your salary is saying, stop polarizing and insulting me in your platforms and look for ways that your people actually does their job. Okay, so super important for me is to send you a message that we don't need handouts. We need you to do your job. Okay, so please help out in these two very simple things. Get people out to the disaster recovery agencies to actually do their job, right? And get the agricultural people to actually have enough staff to attend us, because when I go to agencies, they can't, because they'll give you time, but the actual work in the background is not happening. Regrow is a disaster. It's been said. You gave us like $10 billion in the bank and nothing is being done with that money. And then even though the money's there, the auditors, they're mediocre, and then they say, you don't participate for the money. So even the little money that's being dispersed is being penny pinched, and the agriculturists just need all the aid that they can. Of course, you have to audit to see if it's a real agriculture or not, and if they're going to use it. But if you have $10 billion parked in the bank doing nothing, get them out there, and that's your job. So long story short, I hope that this video hits the right people. We need those information systems integrated in Puerto Rico for the 6 agencies, so we don't have to be doing all that legwork. We need that the forms are simplified in process, and this can be done. I help out with FEMA in 2017 to build out the whole funnel. So I understand the 18 steps and all the due process, and we are for due process. I understand that we don't want constituent money to be stolen, but you can streamline and simplify process and get actual good employees there that are efficient and that can do their job and simplify the work for the constituents that need the aid or the money or whatever. So thank you very much for this time, and I hope that this video hits on the right places. I've been respectful. I'm totally objective. I'm not saying that government does not work. It does in many ways. We just need a better working government, and we need that people that are actually getting those tax dollars paid do their job. That's all we're asking. Do your job. If you put $2 billion on an account, $20 billion on an account, make sure that if they were for an emergency, that money is spent accordingly. But it is spent, not in the bank doing nothing, because it does not help other agencies because it's already arrested, and it does not help the constituents that are in the aid. So thank you so much and have a great day.